Why do we use state in React? Because it's one way to deal with data in our React apps. State is a powerful tool in React that developers use to manage data that is likely to change in an application. Recall that the state data is internal to the component itself. This allows the component to re-render based on the changes in the state data and present the newest updates to the user. With that in mind, let's explore how you can update a component with the useState hook that you encountered earlier. The useState hook allows a component to define and track state. It does this with two arguments, the first of which accesses state and the second of which updates it with a function. For example, you can use the date variable to access the date state, then use the setDate function to update the state. To help you understand how useful the useState hook can be, you're now going to explore an example that demonstrates how to use it to observe and manipulate the state of a component. Let's observe an app that was made for a Mediterranean restaurant called Little Lemon. It has a header child component which receives the props and the object. It also accesses the message property before it returns it and renders it as an H1 element. In the parent app.js component, I import the heading component and I set the word as a state variable, set to the string of eat. For now, I ignore the comment after the eat string. In the return statement, I wrap the heading component in a single div. I pass the message prop of word plus and then in double quotes, @LittleLemon, all wrapped in an opening and closing curly brace. You already know that an opening and a closing curly brace signifies a JSX expression, which means that all the code inside of those curly braces will be evaluated as regular JavaScript. The JavaScript engine takes the word eat and concatenates it to the words @LittleLemon. Thus, in the browser window, I get the words eat @LittleLemon. If I want to update the value of the word state variable to something else like drink, I could use the setWord function directly to help me achieve this. However, when I save the change and run my code, the app does not work. This is because one can't use the state setting variable from your state directly. Instead of updating it directly, I can update it based on a click event. So I have another element called button, and onClick is equal to handleClick. I now set another function which I'll name handleClick. Inside the handleClick function definition, I run setWord to drink. I click File Save All and wait for the app to compile. Now when I click the Click Here button, I get drink @LittleLemon. To observe and update state, you can use the state setting functions and state variables using the state hook. But you must make sure that you use event handling attributes in JSX syntax or some other approaches, which you'll learn more about later. In this video, you have learned about state change basics in React, including how to apply the useState syntax to observe and manipulate state in components. Well done.